Eastern Illinois coach Matt Bollant joins us here on OVC Media Days. Our thanks to him for jumping in and visiting with us. And Coach, it's so fun to see you again after not having a tournament and all those elements that played into it. And we'll get to some softball questions in a moment, but coming off your best season yet at Eastern Illinois and then no tournament, kind of take me through those couple days in March.
Yeah, obviously that's a hard thing. We went from 11 wins to 19 wins. Believe we're going to play in the postseason. Got a call from, I don't know that we'd have made the NIT, but we got a call from the third tournament, and they said, yeah, you guys are in, and we want you. And then not to be able to do that. Eastern has not played in a lot of postseason, so that was tough news for us.
Talk about your progression, and it's been a steady uphill. And certainly culminated, as you mentioned, last season with an excellent season. Talk a little bit about, as we say in the South, are you settled in, Coach? Are you comfortable with where you are? You've been doing this a while, but yeah, different scenery.
Yeah, we're getting there. We went from 3 wins to 11 wins to 19 wins and had the third best increase in 2 years in the country. So, but I told our players today, hey, you got to earn it every day. We got picked 5th in the league, and, and our players felt like, gosh, we finished in the top 4. We got to the semifinals of the tournament. I respect Tech so much and respect the top teams in this league. But, our kids, we got to have a chip on our shoulder. We think we're going to go from last to first, then we better have a chip every day the way we practice. And I really like our players. It's great to be in the gym with them. We want more, and we're working hard to try to make that happen.
Okay, so I'm going to jump to some fun stuff, and then we'll get back to some serious roster stuff in just a moment as we visit with Matt Bollant, head coach at Eastern Illinois. First of all, very important, Coach, you and I have the same birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
3/13.
So 13 is a lucky number, right, Matt?
There we go. March 13th.
Okay. Yeah, for full disclosure, I'm much older than Coach, so.
I'm about turning 50. I turned the magic number this year, so we're getting there.
Yeah, I know you did it. I'm 10% ahead of you, so we'll let you do the math on that.
All right.
When it comes down to that. So yeah, congratulations on that as well. So let's have some fun. One of the things and one of the problems that happened, when this COVID situation hit and the media, they're looking for all kinds of different things to talk about. They did a get to know your head coaches, the local newspaper did there in Charleston. So remember the Titans. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I just love, especially with what's going on in our country right now. I love how, they were divided when they started. And I love when they did the run early in the morning and said, unless we come together, we're never going to be what we want to be, and we're never going to create change. And I loved how that team came together. Especially the 2 defensive linemen and just that story, I think, was really powerful. Love that it was based on a true story. And, for us, that team was, at the bottom and all of a sudden changed and got to the top. But they came together. They put their differences aside. And, and just with all the racial and the injustice in our world, let's come together. Let's be on the same team. Let's love each other really well. And I think that's a great message from that movie.
Yeah, very timely to mention that. And again, this is from in the midst of, this is early on in the COVID. Have you finished The Servant, the book? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so James Hunter book and one of the best that's out there, and he went to this monastery and he was there and he didn't really want to go, but he went, and then a guy that he really respected was actually the teacher, and just that story. So, if you're called to lead, you're called to serve. And the people that you love and care about, they ought to know that you're there for them. And it's your job to find ways to serve them. Every kid is different. One of the things we do is my wife goes through the 5 love languages with each player, and to find out, how they feel love, how they receive love. Because I'm a words of affirmation, but some of our freshmen may be acts of service or maybe quality time. So if I keep telling them how great they are, it's going in one ear and out the other, and they don't feel loved. And so finding a way to know each player with what's important with them, what they tick, a couple of them are words of affirmation. So that's pretty easy for me. I can affirm them. But the ones that aren't that, the quality time, the acts of service or gifts, things like that. And gifts doesn't have to be an expensive thing. It can be just writing them a note or sending them a text. My daughter is gifts. And for her, I take her out to eat and it's like I'm giving her gold. So, just finding each person, and Reagan's that way. So finding how they receive love.
And you mentioned mention your wife, you did a very good job answering the question of thing that has made you laugh. And you said your wife is so funny. So elaborate on that a bit.
Yeah, she's got a lot of personality. She keeps me in my place too. So that's a good thing. And yeah, we've been married for 26 years and, every day she's my best friend, but she does make me laugh. And she also, she's just got a great wit. But I know who's boss most days.
What's it like coming home after a tough loss? What is that like?
Yeah, the great thing is, she could care less about sports. She kind of balances me out. Now she loves me and loves the players, and she'll let me vent a little bit. But normally I don't say a lot after a loss, and I'll probably actually like to laugh a little bit and make fun of myself or make fun of the decision I made or challenge us with our team. But usually I try to get a little bit. I'm usually more sarcastic after a tough loss because I want to laugh a little bit.
All right, let's get on to staff changes. You made a few in the offseason. Talk a little bit about the additions.
Yeah, so Coach Templeton came. Coach Neal went to be a head coach at Division III 2 years in a row. We've lost really good assistant coaches who went on to be head coaches, and that's kind of my goal for the assistants if they want to be a head coach to help prepare them and help them get there. And Cleve Wright did it the year before. He's now at Gannon and doing a great job with that program. So we hired Coach Templeton. He's got 42 years of high school and college experience. And so he's come in and done a really good job. And, he's from the South, so he brings a little of that personality with him, near Chattanooga. So it's been really good. And Coach Miller, I hired, was a former player of mine. She was on the staff last year, but she's kind of coming into her own. And then Coach Simmons, who played for me at Illinois, is one of the top assistants I've ever had. So we're really fortunate.
So I took a perusal of your roster up and down. Looks like you're kind of balanced by class. Let's talk a little bit about that senior class, and I personally might know one or two of them. So talk about what you're looking at there. And I'm speaking particularly about Carly Pace, who's from my hometown of Clarksville. But speak a little bit about that class. And again, look like you got balance at all four levels.
Yeah, we do. We try to recruit 3 or 4 in every class. It's not always a perfect formula, but that's kind of the ideal situation. You're bringing in 3 to 4 new freshmen each year. Carly came in and, the program wasn't very good when she got here. And I said, we're going to try to change it. We're going to try to be conference champions, and we're going to help you play professionally. She said, my goal was to play professional basketball. It was spring of her senior year, and she didn't have any Division I offers. And now she's on pace to go play, no pun intended. She's on pace to go be a professional basketball player. But, she can play, and she makes big shots. The one thing her high school coach said that caught my ear right away, she's got the clutch gene. When the game's on the line, she makes the play. And gosh, anytime you hear that, you better get excited as a coach and probably a kid you want. And last year we had a bunch of close games. We had to win 7-0 down the stretch in close games, and she made big shots in most of those. Okay,
so here's a softball question. We kind of break down the rest of this roster and kind of, the sleeper, the dark horse, maybe the one we didn't anticipate stepping up. You had so much of that last season.
Yeah, we did. I think, Abby Wall, if, we didn't get to nominate preseason kid for all conference because we had 11 returners, shows how great our conference is. You can't even nominate kids because we got so many returning all conference kids. But I think Abby Wall is ready to take that step and be an all conference player. I think Kyra Artover at the point, and might have made as many changes in the off season, improved as any of our players. And we think she can be one of the best point guards in our league. So, you had Carly Laraya, who are first team all conference, and certainly those other two are playing really well. Morgan Litweiler has had a really good off season and done a lot of things to get herself ready to play. Right now, if we're starting tomorrow, she'd be in the starting lineup. Obviously, there's still a lot of chance for change, but Taylor Steele is just really solid, smart. Last year, she got mono and was out for 6 weeks, and it really hurt her, hurt our team, but she's back and looking good. And then we had Bree Mitchler, who sat out last year, a transfer from IUPUI, is going to be really good. Jordan Hughes had 2 games last year with 24, and there's a lot of practices where she's our leading scorer. So we feel like we got 8, 9. Paige Schumann's getting better, and Grace McCrae is back. So we've got a lot of depth, and hopefully we'll be able to use that when it matters.
Last season I bumped into you, had a couple of your games, bumped into you pregame or walked by you pregame. What's going through Matt Bollant's mind as he's sitting sometimes in an empty arena kind of pregame? Take me through that 15 minutes or so for me if we get started.
Yeah, really just trying to stay calm. I want my team to see poise and confidence from me, and just trying to get my mind and my, emotions ready to, respond to the highs and lows. I'm not sure there's many things like basketball, but the highs and lows of coaching. And, we bring Tennessee Martin comes to our place and we beat them in first place team. And 2 days later, SEMO comes in and, and rocks the first quarter. They're up like 14-2. So just being ready for the highs and lows, being ready to respond the right way as a coach. Also, I'm always thinking about the matchups, how they defend, what sets we're going to call, and just getting myself ready, making sure that I'm ready to have a great game as well.
Matt, I know it's been a difficult offseason, and that's the case for all of your colleagues throughout the league and the men's and the women's side. But thanks for joining us today here at Media Days, and we wish you the best of luck. And we're all junkies. We can't wait for this thing to get started.
Yeah, it's an exciting time of year. So thank you. I appreciate the great questions and appreciate you covering the conference and knowing our team so well.